is a virtual fundraiser? It is an online fundraising event. Instead of gathering together physically, supporters gather online using technology and different platforms. Virtual fundraisers can replace in-person galas, concerts, walkathons, races, and even more. Okay. What are the advantages of virtual fundraising? The most important one is supporters who might not have been able to attend an in-person event because of schedules or distance may be available for your virtual one. Since we have chapters all over the world, we can include all our sisters. And the logistics are simplified. If you're used to planning traditional fundraising events such as galas, you may find the streamlined process for a virtual event surprisingly appealing. You won't need to show up early to set up 200 chairs or worry about catering or even decorations.
Unfortunately, there are also disadvantages of virtual fundraising. We've all experienced with our Zoom and our virtual meetings an inability to engage over time, and sometimes a decreased attention span with a different format and looking at a screen. Also, some of our platforms have a cost associated with them, but of course the biggest disadvantage is we don't get to see each other in person.
And then we have questions to ask. Can we adapt our existing fundraiser to a virtual platform? Sometimes it's not easy to adapt a fundraiser event that we've had. So then we need to see if we can, sorry, I'm just gonna stop it here for a second. There we go. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm at activities. Okay. So we need to consider what kind of platforms we can use. Sometimes it's not feasible to change a fundraising event. So we either plan alternatives, such as holding it outdoors, or if it's really not feasible to do it, we will have to put it on pause for this current year. If we can adapt, then we need to see what we can consider. There are different platforms that we can use. Then we need to see what our scheduling options are so that we don't conflict with other fundraising events, and how to spread the word. Instagram, Facebook, there's so much social media that we can use. We can spread the word very easily. And what are some new ideas we might want to consider? There's some new activities, some new sales that we can do as an organization, and offer new services.
Now, what are some activities we could do? Well, we can hold a pretend tea party or an ungala gala. A holiday picture contest should be a lot of fun, or maybe even a bingo night. How about some cooking classes, or this is my favorite, a virtual wine tasting. And we can do fun runs, walks, golf, bike-a-thon, virtual tours. We can take tours of museums, historical buildings, and again, my favorite, wineries. And you can hold a book club online.
We can also do sales virtually, even though we're more accustomed to doing them in person. Some of them are easily adaptable. We've already had some chapters who've done garage sales. We've got chapters that are in the process or have completed silent auctions. We've got raffles. We've got unraffle raffles. Food can be sold online with an arrangement to pick it up curbside or sometimes delivery, depending on what the item is and what the market is. We've got some wonderful chapters, and I'm going to call out, I see District Governor Marianne is with us tonight, and she has been a leader and in her mask creation during the pandemic. And it started as a effort to support our frontline workers, and now it's become a fundraiser that we are really proud of her for leading the way across the country of selling masks as a fundraiser. We've got districts and chapters that are selling holiday greens, poinsettias, Jewelry, shout out to District 11 and their chapters who are selling breast cancer jewelry and taking advantage of the opportunity to do some self-care and a little shopping while also benefiting our chapters in our districts, as well as clothing and other apparel, as we've seen our maids doing with the JED t-shirts that hopefully all of you have had a chance to see and are in the process of ordering yours.
Then we have different services that we can do. We have fundraising challenges. A lot of people are using Facebook to raise funds for personal issues, for personal birthdays, etc., and they put a fundraising challenge. We have charity live streams and charity webinars. We can also host movie nights. We can sell tickets for one household and enjoy a movie together. We have different do-it-yourself projects, paint nights, gift cards, and different services that we can swap in order to raise money for our funds.
Now, how do we do these virtual fundraisers? First, we have to determine what kind of event we want to host. Do we want to transfer as much of our traditional events to an online format or try something completely new? Well, then we have to set up our fundraising goal. How much do we hope to raise from our virtual event? Virtual events have significantly lower overhead than in-person events, so you'll get to keep more of the money you raise, but make sure you account for this when you're setting a fundraising goal. 3, now to create your framework, you need to plan the event timeline and figure out what you'll need to accomplish it. And when you're ready to publicize your virtual event, make sure you emphasize that it is a virtual event, provide all the relevant links for the event, explain how to participate, and most important, the link to your donation page. And finally, before your event, do a practice run with all your technology to be certain everything will go as planned.
So what platforms can we use for virtual fundraising? There's platforms that we can subscribe to as an organization, some of which have a cost associated with them and some which don't. If we're hosting activity kinds of events, there's CauseVox, there's Classy, there's QGive, Snowball, and Bloomberg. For sales, again, CauseVox is an option, as well as Bidding for Good, One Cause, and Silent Auction Pro. And for services, CauseVox again is right up in front, along with FundScript, Mobile Cause, Zoom, and Facebook Live, which we've all been accustomed to using this year.
So one of our events could be an Ungala Gala, as we mentioned earlier. And the Ungala Gala is a trending topic. It's something that you invite people to, you sell tickets to, and you can either have a comedian, you can have a musical performance, you can have awards, just like our Vice President, Sister Kathy Bazookas, had given awards to district governors over Zoom. Our attendees can dress up or they can dress down. You could be wearing your pajama bottoms and a nice blouse on top and nobody would know the difference. And it actually is less expensive for us ladies. We won't need to go to the hairdressers and get new pairs of shoes and get a new outfit. So I'm sure everybody would be willing to do something like this.
Bingo night. Virtual bingo nights are a great way to have some fun. They're cheap, they're easy, and anyone can get involved, and it works just like the real thing.
So voting contests cover a lot of different categories, and it also invites people to participate at a different level. So you can tie it to a cause, you can make it a contest for costumes or cutest kitten or best photography or best charity or best joke or funniest dance move. Depending on your chapter, depending on your district, depending on what kinds of activities y'all have done in the past and might want to continue or new ideas, this invites participants to really step up and be at the forefront and also have a different level of engagement with the audience. So this is a new opportunity that I think a lot of districts might benefit from.
And then we have our different sports activities like charity runs or charity walks. I know that the Maids of Athena are doing something out in Texas and getting everybody together. So if you can't do something like we normally would do, you can actually start up an online walk or run or a cyclothon, and you can pledge to do it all together at the same date and time, and everybody would do it on their own. The bonus thing about anything that has to do with charity exercise activities or sporting activities, you can spice it up and you can use it for different things and use the same kind of format for different venues, either a walk, a run, even golf. In Canada, there were a few people who were doing Smack the Ball, the golf ball. So for 3 golf balls, you would pledge $5, and as much as they can, as many golf balls as they can smack, they would go to the golf course and just shoot some golf balls.
A birthday or other celebration fundraiser. When all else fails, you simply ask your supporters to fundraise on your behalf, and they can donate to a charity of your choice or a cause of your choice. And it doesn't just have to be birthday, it could be weddings, graduation, anything. But the nice thing about that is that you also get national exposure for that event that you're promoting, and more people will know more about it. And we've seen a lot of this going on Facebook. Facebook has got a lot of these birthday fundraisers, and so that is one platform you can use.
So another option are the charity live streams, which is a simple direct fundraising appeal from home or office for a period of time. And this is something that we're familiar with in public TV and different areas, but it takes an adaptation to adapt it to our needs and our chapter and district events. But it's a specific appeal for a specific cause and designed within a specific framework, or time frame and framework.
And then we have the infamous silent auctions. You can launch an online auction and the highest bidder would win. You can use different prizes, goods, services rendered. You can donate sporting events or concert event tickets, and we don't need a permit to do the silent auction. There's also a platform called Silent Auction Pro, and depending on the magnitude of your event and your silent auction, it can cost you as little as nothing to as much as $105 a month if you want to take it pro. So there are ways to start silent auctions, and we have so many artists in the Daughters of Penelope. We have beautiful paintings. So many people who do beautiful crafts, that this would be an easy run fundraiser. And if we don't know how to do it, we actually have a platform that can help us.
Next, we'd like to open it up for discussion with everybody, and so you can let us know what your chapter, if your chapter has hosted a virtual event. Anybody?
Yeah. We had a designer bag auction, raised about $9,000.
Oh, wow.
What happened was last year on Black Friday, they went to the outlets and purchased designer bags up in Woodbury Commons in a really nice outlet up in New York. And they held them, and we were supposed to have it in April, but obviously we can't. So they decided to do was they figured it out. I'm not very good at technology, but they had it online and they sold the tickets for $20 each. And they did it on Facebook Live, and it was very successful, obviously. So it was fun too. We made a night of it at my house with a couple of friends.
I have a question about that. So
Sure.
then after somebody wins, then you would like UPS it to them or?
It was mostly pickup, but if somebody had
Oh.
one out of state, we would have had
Oh,
to
oh, okay, mainly pickup. Okay,
send pickup.
thank you.
So,
Um,
question, you sold tickets to the event and then the
Yes.
people that bought the tickets would bid on various bags?
No, actually not. You bought the ticket, and with this, the ticket was good for every single bag. There were 15 bags or 17 bags, and each all the tickets were put into a container and were drawn, and that the person won the bag and would have to either pick it up at our church or some of the girls picked it up for their friends.
So it's like a raffle.
It's like a raffle, yeah.
Okay,
But they did it on Facebook Live.
interesting.
Our chapter is doing sales of from something called Mom's Pantry. Calgary started it and did quite well with it, and so we're doing it now too. So people order from a catalog and put we have a number that they give when they want to purchase something, and we get a percentage of the sales.
I have a question.
Yes.
If you're having an auction of like a bag, do you need to have some type of license from your state to be selling it to the public for tickets?
If we did it in, I believe we did get it originally, but we didn't need to use it because it was virtual. I think it depends on your state and your city.
Another advantage of being virtual.
I have a question on how you're collecting the money for selling those tickets.
It was people who they sold it to people they worked with. We sold it to friends. So it was either somebody sent you the money or bought the money to you.
And another advantage to that is we're always talking about how we're dipping into the same pockets for our in-person events, and going virtual, like Marianne just said, you can open it wide open to lots of other pockets.
Gretchen, our chapter, when you said Cassandra in Boca Raton, what we did is we actually did like a show, which is To Tell the Truth. We hosted a version of a TV show on Zoom, and we used the various options to collect funds. So we did Zelle. So we have adopted fully wire transfer. So the way we would sell tickets is we give instructions either to send a check or transfer Zelle. So then we track all of the participants, and it was very smooth. And then we can very easily see how many people attended and how much money we collected. So with the Zoom, we were able to expand it with my board members, their friends. For our fundraiser, actually, we raise more money outside of the chapter than within the chapter. So it's really possible. You can raise up to easily $600 and just make it with a very good planning. So I was very pleased with the platform.
Hi. I'm Yvonne from Ottawa, Canada, with Margaret, same chapter. We've done quite a few different virtual fundraisers since the start of the pandemic, which we've invited a lot of your chapters and districts. Our most successful has been the bingo night. Easy to plan, easy to put together and collect the money. We use e-transfer. What we did find out, and this, I don't know if applies in the States, but it definitely applies in Canada. A lot of businesses are still willing to donate because they allot that amount every year within their budgets. So somehow they have to show for that. So we reached out to a lot of businesses and we were able to get a lot of donations for prizes. We currently have a Halloween costume contest running. And actually we've gotten a lot of submissions, which has been great. We thought it was more a fun idea for the kids, but it turns out that lots of adults have a Halloween spirit. But one thing we are planning is a paint night. We have a local artist who's donating 2 hours of her time. And what we're planning on doing is putting together a basket with all the supplies and everything that they need. The artist will pre-draw on the canvas the design, and we will deliver to each person. We haven't determined the price of the basket, but we'll be charging something, and that's another idea for a fundraiser. So there are a lot of things out there. You just need to be a little bit creative.
Well, and I believe you do need to make sure you link your fundraiser when you put it online to your donation page when you're talking about how do you raise money, and they can donate to that on that line there. And there was another question here I saw in the chat. We will be, can we get instructions on the items that we showed? We do have a guide to guide instruction that will be on the DOP website.
And I can show you what the guide looks like at the end of the presentation and at the end of our discussion.
Can I say something? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. We're planning a social tea for Founders Day in Toronto, the Toronto chapter. And the idea is that how can you really enthuse people so you can come, members or friends. And we have invited a member who's one of the best known medical doctors in the region for pain, but she just wrote an interesting book. It's called Beautiful, Successful, and Abused. In other words, successful women who have become abused in family settings. And she's going to give us a 20-minute talk. And this is a very interesting topic. And we believe that it's going to attract many members so we can have a little fundraising. I mean, we're going to charge what, $20 each, something like that. And it's kind of interesting. You can have it semi-educational, semi-fun, semi-discussion, semi-gossip, and semi-social.
Minneapolis and St. Paul, I'm in both chapters, are talking about doing a virtual tea also. But I just thought we could probably do some sister joint teas besides our local, now that we're virtual.
That's a good idea, yes. Let's do that. Let's have all our teacups, okay, Founders Day, something like that, social, and we can exchange ideas. We can do all kinds of things. I mean, this is interesting. I mean, and actually we can spike our teas with something like bourbon or whatever.
I like that idea.
I mean, let's make it interesting, actually.
My cup of tea. We're looking at Minneapolis, St. Paul, but there's no reason why we couldn't go beyond.
And it's a call.
Send out the invitation.
Okay. It sounds okay. Can we, our chapter, to get in contact with you and I mean, we have planned it for Founders Day. It's November the 14th or the 16th. Yeah.
The 16th. Okay, we were looking at like a weekend, but we hadn't set ours up for sure yet. But we had just started talking.
We want to do it. I don't know. People are.
But if you got a date, then I can propose that to the others.
Okay, it is the 16th, and this time we have it at 7 o'clock. It's $20. I mean, in our own region, okay. And also you can listen to the talk because she's an interesting speaker, and she's also a daughter. So it's a very interesting talk. The book is actually quite good. I mean, we all kind of.
Great.
This is Kathleen. This is Kathleen Courtney from EOS. I certainly hope that you've all received an invitation to our November 14th virtual event. And I was absolutely amazed. The women, extraordinary women on the committee said, this is not an EOS event. This is a daughters event. So we have sent out our invitation to everyone. There is no charge, and we've set it up for 10 a.m. in the morning on the November 14th, so we can have sisters from Greece and Australia and Europe with us. And I'm hopeful that all of you will come. And I think that the key thing is making sure people realize that what you're fundraising for is important. And in California, we're fundraising for the Wildfire Relief Fund, since we have so many people whose lives have been devastated. And we'll know by November 14th, but it appears that people are willing to help us, whether it's 25 or 50 or 100 or more. So we'll report on that. And I hope to see you all on November 14th at 10 a.m.
Kathleen, how did those invitations come out to us? Were they sent through email or?
Yeah. What I did was, first of all, it went to EOS, then it went to the district, and Linda Belba sent it to all our chapters. And then I sent it to Calliope Pusikas, who should have sent it to all the district governors. We sent it to the Grand Lodge, and then we sent it to Nikki Stamoulis, the liaison for the past grand presidents. So we're just starting to get everything out. And Marian Parash, she's just a wonderful woman, wrote the letter and taught me the word, Kathy Levis, help me, plotimus.
Philotimo.
I'm sorry, I'm the non-Greek of this, but anyhow, so we're really looking forward. And if you haven't got, I would be delighted to send it to your chapter or to your district if you haven't heard from it yet.
Thank you. Next, Antoinette, you want to say something?
Yes, thank you, Sister Marianthi. The District Lodge of District 5 has done something that's a little fun. It's not a fundraiser, but it's something to interact with the chapters. We have been holding online scavenger hunts, and we do it by chapter. And we give these sisters 10 items to find in their house. And the sister who finds the most items wins a prize. And we've just finished our first round with our 11 chapters, and we will be starting our second round in the month of November soon. As well, we will do it with just the chapter presidents in December. And in January, we have invited the maids of our district to participate in a scavenger hunt just for them. So it's just something that's a little fun, and we do have prizes.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah. Now, for you that have had virtual events, what were your challenges or your benefits from doing one?
We've actually got one that we're prepping for right now in Albany for Alope, and we're doing a virtual bake sale. So everything is pre-baked. Now, normally we're able to have people bake at home and bring it in. This time we're having to have everybody bake at the church. We're pre-packing. So it's a little bit more legwork to get stuff started, because you have to have people sign up ahead of time to say, on Friday the 30th, I'm going to come in the evening to help make glutia or whatever. And everything is done. Our chapter decided, actually before COVID had started, we got a Square account, which is sometimes you'll see people have, they're the little plug-in to run a credit card off of your cell phone. So we're doing all of the payments through Square, which when you sign up new, at least when we did it, we got a 6-month time frame where we had no service fees for it. So that's definitely something to look into if you're going to be doing virtual fundraisers and you want to be able to receive credit card payments.
And also to be able to pay your dues.
And to pay your dues and everything else online.
Yeah, that's right.
It's much easier because a lot of younger people don't carry checks and don't always have cash. And what we have set up is we have a Friday and a Saturday where you come You pull up, you say, hi, my name's Marie Kratsios. I'm order number 123. And we bring out your guludia, your baklava, your spanakopita, whatever else you've ordered. So you, as the person buying, don't even have to get out of your car. We have everything prepackaged, bring it right out to you. And it's basically, we got a little lucky. Our chapter president was one of the people that coordinated our church's drive-through festival over the summer. So basically everything that we figured out, trial and error through our drive-through festival, we are using for our drive-through bake sale.
And it's in conjunction with the Philadelphia.
And we're also to make so that you're spreading the work a little bit. We are doing it in conjunction with our local maids chapter. They're actually handling a lot of the computer side of things that maybe we aren't quite as good at, and our Philoptochos, because let's face it, a third of our membership is shared with Philoptochos. So we reached out to the president of Philoptochos and said, we'll split the profits with you if you also share some of the work with us. And it seems to be going very well so far. I mean, we haven't had our pickup day yet, so I don't know how much money we've earned from it, but it seems to be going very well. We have a good response for people actually wanting to come and work, which can always be a struggle. The other one that we have going right now, and I don't know, Marianti or
Kathy B and
we're a tag team here tonight, sorry.
Kathy B and Kathy M both ordered last year.
Kathy B and Kathy M both ordered last year. Our chapter does a wreath sale. And the farm that we work with through for the wreaths does where we can ship it nationwide. So that is something that even our sisters in California or New Jersey, or you don't have to be in Albany, New York, can still order either a wreath or a centerpiece, and the farm ships it right to you. So it doesn't have to, we basically send it right to your door for you.
And I have a comment from Effie that she wants to speak on some of the challenges. Effie, can you join us?
Yes, thank you so much, Gretchen. I'm from District 2. We were in Fort Lauderdale. We had a bingo that actually went well. It was the first time bingo that we did, a virtual bingo. Thank you for some people from New York that actually showed up. We appreciated it just because we publicized it through Facebook. Some of the main things that we've seen, of course, with virtual, you have to deal with internet. You don't know when your system is going to crash or not. So one of the things that we had was make sure that we had 2 hosts. So we always had a backup just in case the main person that was hosting, if their internet dropped, which actually did, that somebody else was able to pick up immediately, effortlessly, and not even know that they were gone and continue on with the segment. So that's one of the things that hopefully everybody's doing for the virtual event. Another thing is trying to get the funds. I know we talked about funds. Liliana talked about having Zelle, Venmo, Square, yes, is good. It just, the fees, if you don't have that wave of free, it gets a little pricey for the fees, especially if you're only charging like $10 or $15. Then some of the fees can probably hit or affect in some way, but it's more from camaraderie, I think, instead of having the fees itself or the donations. And one of the other things that we had was just practicing, because if you don't practice, you're not going to know what's going to happen. And a lot of things happen when you're at home, you have pets, you have children, you have animals, you have husbands and everything else. So probably practice. Those are just some of the issues that we had, but we overcame them all. As long as you practice and just go with it, then it'll just be fine. But those are just some of the things that we had.
Thank you, Effie.
Can I say something? the District 23 is organizing a huge educational event. I mean, we have invitees as notable speakers from Greece. It's educational, and we would like really to spread the word around. But I think the greatest difficulty that I personally had, and I think the District Lodge has, is that how to recruit participants. I mean, it is the same story as if you had a physical event. The physical event, I mean, you advertise it, but then you have to call, you have to write, you have to email. I mean, it is the same thing. I haven't seen any difference. I mean, you have to contact people to convince them that this is a good event to attend. Now, virtually, and when it was physically. So it was not only the technical thing, that the technical aspect of an event, it's also the number of people who are going to come.
That's a great point. Marianthi, what is our next question?
What best practices on virtual fundraising can you share?
And gosh, I think we've covered so many of them.
I think we've done it.
From all of you.
Yeah. With the discussion. Yeah.
Something came to my mind, just one thing. If you have guests outside of your chapter, what we planning to do is send a thank you note with a small gift, like a gift card of $10, so we show appreciation for everyone to contribute to our fundraiser.
That's a very good idea, because that could be a very good best practice, and it can initiate people to.
Right.
It shows your.
Just like a card and something small. Just
yeah.
Well, that's just like an in-person event. If you have someone that comes to speak to you or give you donations or something, you still want to send a thank you note. Even just a quick thank you to your participants, not with a gift, but a quick thank you note to all the participants.
Exactly. Yes.
Bought tickets or whatever, even if it's online, just to thank them at the end.
I would like to contribute on that. We just held our mid-year conference a couple of weeks ago. And actually the Lieutenant Governor, I don't know if she's here, Angela, had an excellent idea. She designed a beautiful certificate, which is going to be distributed to all the participants. And it was beautiful with the daughter of Penelope and blah, blah, thank you. And I think this is very encouraging. I mean, really thanks people and encourages people to attend these virtual meetings, webinars, conferences, conventions. And this is another idea that we could probably consider. I mean, you could.
It was very lovely. I received mine, Sister Xanthi.
You did?
Yes, it was lovely. It was very lovely.
Wasn't that nice? It was very nice. It was very well designed. Yeah.
Do we have any more questions, Sister Gretchen or Marianthi?
We do have a question about bingo, and Margaret, I think this is a great place to segue into introducing the guide, because the guide provides step-by-step information about some of the events we've talked about.
I'm going to see if it's going to work. I have 3 screens going on, so I haven't been able to look at the chats. And Ellen, can everybody see that?
Yep. And we're not going to go over everything because it'll take way too much time, but it's just a quick run through on what there is and how to do it, and it'll be on the website.
So what we've done here is we've taken each of the events and the services, the activities, and the sales that we presented to you in our presentation and given you a quick how to do. So for example, the Ungala Gala, we tell you how to do it. You sell your tickets, you raise additional money with online auctions, etc. And for each of the ones that we've done, we've added these things. I just also want to give a shout out to District 5 for doing their fundraiser online for breast cancer. Bingo night, these are the steps that you need to take. We have, as Sister Yvonne from Ottawa mentioned, this is the website that they use to get the free bingo cards. Voting contest as well, your charity run, walk, bicycle-thon, etc. How to do the whole thing. Your fundraisers, if it's a birthday fundraiser or celebration that you do on your own. Your live streams, what platforms you can use that are free. then your silent auction as well. And those are the ones that we discussed during our presentation. So this presentation will also be on the website to accompany the virtual presentation, fundraising presentation we did.
And